Let's ask Connor. Connor, what do you think was the most memorable game of the season? You can go postseason, you can go regular season, win, loss. Where would you select the game of the year in your opinion?
I think you'd have to go to North Carolina. That game, too, was kind of crazy with the weather delays, I guess, lightning or whatever. We didn't have any rain, but we were there for about 7 hours, and then you ended in that fashion. It was pretty special.
So Brady Slavens ends up getting the RBI single and ends up helping you guys win that game. Connor, and I know you pitched in game one, but from your perspective and just kind of talking with the guys in the dugout, what is that like to go through not just one but 2 rain delays? Does that mess up the rhythm? What does that do for a baseball team?
It can take away momentum. I think there was a big out before the first rain delay, so it kind of worked in our favor. It kind of killed the momentum. You take the crowd out, and then everybody kind of goes back to normal. So that's really the biggest thing. I think you got to stay locked in during those delays, and, sometimes they're 2.5 hours. So I think if you could just keep your mind right and, just focus on getting back to the game, I think that's why we had success there.
Connor, you grew up in Greenwood, very successful sports town. What did that environment and the kids you grew up around, the coaches you played for, playing football for Rick Jones, what did all of that experience as a teenager do to form where you're at today as a baseball player?
It teaches you a lot of things. The biggest thing was the culture we had there was, very successful, and you got to learn how to win at some point. And I think that's really helped me out early, and having the expectations around the program, which, obviously that carries over to college, and then, it makes the transition to the college game a lot easier.
Playing for Rick Jones in high school football, what did you take from the football experience playing for him? And then we'll talk about Arkansas football as well. But what did that do to mold you and shape you into the athlete you are today?
I thought he was a great coach for me. He always focused on the little things, and that getting instilled that early was huge, because it made me adaptable to when I got here and focus on the little things. And I was doing everything I needed to do to have success at a high level. And he's a great coach. Obviously, he's moved on from Greenwood, but all the stuff he taught me has really set me ahead, and I think it's been one of the biggest factors since I got up here.
Connor Noland, kind enough to take some time out of his morning to join us here on the Morning Rush. Connor, I don't know who's more popular, you or your dad, Frank. I mean, he was getting the television spotlight. He was getting the pats on the back at Rocco's at the College World Series, and he was doing holding up the W after wins in Stillwater and Chapel Hill. What was that like to just kind of share some of the spotlight with your dad throughout postseason baseball?
It was awesome. I mean, he's been around. He's been with me the whole ride through college, and he's a great guy, great dad, and to have that happen in the biggest moments was awesome. And I'm really glad that he kind of got to get out there and show how much he loves, obviously me, but the team in general. He's always cheering for everybody, and I think he's a perfect example of how you should be as a parent in a collegiate setting, and just being there for everybody.
Connor, it really seems like you have a good set of parents around you. Now, I'm kind of on a first-name basis with your dad, but what's that been like with him and your mom, Angie, and just growing up and supporting you in the sports environment that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's been essential. I think if you have that base at home and you have that support system, it makes this process of being a college athlete a lot easier. I mean, there's all kinds of ups and downs, and obviously, super regionals and Omaha. Those are the highs, but there's some times when you're going through stuff or you're struggling, and having a family like I do, it really helps.
Connor, you've developed as a pitcher in this evolution of science, kind of with pitching in the pitching lab at Arkansas, and all of the equipment and the radars to collect data on spin rates and all of this. How has it changed the way a pitcher prepares, the way a pitcher analyzes and is coached? How is this new kind of the new day of technology in baseball changed the way you're coached in today's game?
It's changed a lot. I mean, the technology definitely adds another level to what you do on a daily basis. And, Coach Hobbs is very involved in analytics, and we use all kinds of crazy cameras that are way too expensive. But, it really helps to see the little things that you might not have seen with just the naked eye. So, once you get instant feedback, you can take that and really process it, change some things. And, the results are fast, but we still do, just good old, turn everything off and, throw a bullpen. And that's what we did at the end of the year. I mean, I just don't think I used, Rapsodo, which is our, spin rate, our movement, and our cameras. We kind of just turned those off and said, where we are at, where we're at, we can't really change much at this point. So let's just get good. So That's what we did.
What was the process like? A lot of people were hand-wringing and not necessarily doubting you, but just the process of you having to come back on short rest in the College World Series. How did that change your process for that last start? And obviously your performance was outstanding, even though the team came up short against two great pitching performances that day. How did your preparation leading up to that game change with maybe a one less day?
It changed a lot. Obviously there's the recovery side. So, I was with the team doctor and athletic trainer, just doing all kinds of recovery to try to get ready, prepare myself the best way. And then, obviously you change the throwing routine a little bit because you take away a day. So I think I took an extra day off, give my arm a little rest, and, I was ready to go as soon as that day came.
Talking with Connor Noland this morning here on the Morning Rush. Connor, I think about Payne Paulette going down before the season and you kind of having to follow up with after Blaine Knight and after Isaiah Campbell. What kind of pressure did you kind of feel on yourself preseason with those guys and with what at least we assume is going to be the Friday night starter? Did that motivate you this year?
Definitely. I think that really motivated me early. I mean, you think about Arkansas baseball, there's always been a Friday night guy that really, carries a team and sets the example for the weekend. And knowing that, I worked really hard in the preseason, fall, spring ball. And, once the news about Peyton broke, I really knew that I had to step up for the team and we were going to be missing a big piece. So I hated that Peyton couldn't be out there, but, all I could do is step up and try to, do anything I could to help the team. Especially with him going down.
Yeah. What if anything changed with this team from the time you left Hoover till you achieved getting to the College World Series and being one of the last three teams there? It seemed like the team was out of sync, out of kilter, whatever adjective you want to put with it, as it kind of ended the regular season. But was there a switch flip? Did nothing change? What went on with you and your teammates behind the scene that led to the success and reaching the College World Series?
I think we just really came together as a team. We had a meeting after Hoover and kind of just talked about what we needed to do the rest of the season to get where we wanted to be. And, we needed to play for each other and, leave it all out there. We had a lot of seniors that, we're going to be leaving the team and guys that were going to the draft. So it was one of those things where, we just needed to leave it all out there. And I think that's kind of what happened. Everybody kind of just came together and, you start to get hot in baseball. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah. So what's next for Connor Noland?
That is a great question. I really don't know. I haven't made any final decisions yet, but I've got a couple options, and I'm excited to see where it takes me.
So on that subject, Connor, you always hear rumors, speculations, and whatnot. I call them Pinnacle rumors because I feel like I always get them out of Pinnacle in Northwest Arkansas. Is there any possibility that you come back and play another season for Razorback baseball?
Yeah, so there is a possibility that I do. Obviously the draft is coming up, and we'll see on that end. But I've never say no that I wouldn't come back.
So what does that process look like for you? I know you're going to talk with Frank, Angie, scouts, GMs, whoever. The money is an issue as well. But with COVID giving you an extra year of eligibility, is there a figure you want to hit? I know Peyton, there was a figure he wanted to hit, and he decided to come to school. Connor, is there certain particular that you want? Like, what kind of leads to that decision process for you in the coming months?
I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. I don't think it's all about the money. That comes eventually. You really don't get your money until you make it to the big leagues. But, there's a lot of things to think about. I'm working on my master's right now, so that's a big factor. I've always held my education highly, and that would be kind of big to finish up. So I'm kind of thinking about everything. I'm going to test the water and see what it's like, and then I'll make a decision after that.
What are you studying, by the way?
I'm doing operations management for my master's, but I got my degree in entrepreneurship, kind of small business management.
There you go.
Outside of baseball, what would be your dream job?
I think I'd like to be a professional golfer, but I think that's a little unrealistic.
So who's the better golfer, you or Tyler Wilson? Who's the better Greenwood golfer?
I would say Tyler Wilson. I think he's got a few years on me, so he might have a little more experience, but
so
we'll see here in a couple months after I play a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Connor, thanks for your time this morning. We wish you the best and appreciate you taking a few minutes for us here on the Morning Rush.
Partners at BetOnline continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon Finals, Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to get the bonus and get into the action. Bet online, where the game starts.